Well, rhetoric on the campaign trail is never a particular surprise, but presidential candidate Newt Gingrich has leveled quite a charge at President Obama, suggesting now that if Mr. Obama stays in office for a second term, the very security of our country is at risk. This speech happened yesterday in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Barack Obama is the most dangerous president in modern American history. Someone was arrested over the weekend for trying to blow up the U.S. Capitol. They happen to be from Morocco. Under the Obama administration's willful dishonesty, it would be highly inappropriate to describe what motivated them, because that would be somehow politically incorrect. Across the planet today, the forces of religious repression are on the march, and this administration has intellectually disarmed. It is morally disarmed. It is incapable of describing what threatens us. When somebody who's a major in the U.S. Army jumps up at Fort Hood, yells Allahu Akbar, kills 13 Americans and wounds 30, carries in his wallet something that says Warrior of Allah, and we write a report which doesn't even reference radical Islam, when Ahmadinejad, the dictator of Iran, gets up and says Israel can be eliminated from the face of the earth, we should assume he means Israel can be eliminated from the face of the earth. So defeating Barack Obama becomes, in fact, a duty of national security, because the fact is he is incapable of defending the United States. We are in a world that is very dangerous, and I say this to those of you who represent the next generation, because you're going to bear the consequences. We are really at risk someday in your lifetime of losing an American city.
Joining me now, Leslie Marshall, a syndicated radio talk show host and Fox News contributor, and Lars Larson, also a syndicated radio host, and he's with Compass Media Networks. Panel, so he went, I mean, you heard just a few snippets, but he went on and on and on, and really took it to an interesting place. I mean, he's the most dangerous president in U.S. history, that it's a duty of national security to vote him out of office. He's incapable of defending the United States. And then in the same breath, talking about how we are at risk of losing an American city. Leslie, did he go too far?
This is, I've always said, the thing about Newt Gingrich is he'll come out and he'll say something brilliant, like, you know, we've seen him do when he shoots to #1 when he was asked about his personal life. And then he reminds us, in my opinion, how crazy he is. If this is really how Newt Gingrich feels, and Lars, I thought you were going to maybe agree with me on this, we will see, but this is nothing but fear-mongering. This is, I am losing against Romney and Santorum, and this is hypocritical, because if this is how Newt Gingrich truly feels, and Lars does as well, then where was the outrage and the outcry for the resignation of George W. Bush after September 11th, when not a thwarted attack, an unfortunately successful attack by 19 hijackers killed over 3,000 people?
Go ahead, Lars.
And yet here's the problem, Leslie. You didn't answer the question. Did he go too far? Absolutely he didn't go too far. What Gingrich said is absolutely accurate. Somebody did try to blow up the Capitol this weekend. We've had terrorist incidents throughout this country, and this is a president who won't stand up to confront radical Islam. He won't stand up to confront Iran. He will apparently allow Iran to get the bomb, which it's already said what it plans to do with it, which is destroy Israel and destroy the United States if they possibly can. He is a dangerous president, and I'd agree with Newt Gingrich's assessment.
He's talking, Leslie, in particular about a couple things. He doesn't like President Obama's policy when it comes to Israel. He thinks that, you know, the policies right now are increasing our problems with respect to that region, not helping them. He talks about how you can't, basically, he won't use the words radical Islam. That seems to be what Gingrich is suggesting, saying we've intellectually disarmed by not calling what happened at Fort Hood what it actually was, and going on from there, saying there's sort of a political correctness that's undermining our security. Does he have a point there?
No, because I don't think it's what you call it. I mean, what you call it are madmen, terrorists, murderers, whether they're a Timothy McVeigh, whether they claim to be Muslim. You technically can't be any religion and want to kill anybody. It's against the Ten Commandments, which Islam, Judaism, and all Christianity, Catholics, Protestants, Mormons, etc., all agree with and subscribe to. You know what, Lars, to say this is a president who does not protect this country, when he made the phone call to take out Osama bin Laden, cut off the two heads of two of the three snakes of Al-Qaeda, and this was a thwarted attempt, not a successful attempt. This is nothing but fear-mongering, and you know it.
Go ahead,
Megan, it does matter what you call it, Leslie. Words do matter, to quote Barack Hussein Obama. He couldn't say jihad if he had a mouthful of it. The fact that we've had to change our language, we can't call terrorist incidents, we can't call them terrorists, that does change the way that you address a problem, Leslie, and you are well aware of this. The fact that the United States government changes the way it speaks so that it doesn't want to cause any kind of upset in the Muslim world is disturbing to most of us, and it's dangerous to the country.
But let me start with you on this one, Lars, but you know, the allegation that Barack Obama is, quote, incapable of defending the United States when he did take out Osama bin Laden, and when he's been criticized by many on the left for continuing surveillance programs and related programs that were started under the Bush administration. I mean, the left is unhappy with how he's done that.
Megan, I'll address that.
Actually, Megan,
let me start with Lars on that.
Okay, listen, here's the problem with that. If all you do is blow terrorists up on the ground with missiles from Predator drones, you don't get any intelligence out of them. This president is incapable because he doesn't want to do the kind of extraction of information that actually produced the location of bin Laden. If you look at where most of that information came from, it came from the Bush administration that allowed us to get close enough to him. Right now, Barack Obama would rather blow people up at a distance with missiles than capture them and extract the information.
Leslie, when Gingrich was talking about we're at risk of losing an American city, now he didn't say under a second term of Barack Obama, but it came up in the same context as the remarks we just listened to. Is that too much? I mean, is that to you know, even a veiled suggestion that, you know, we're going to lose an American city if we elect the wrong president? Too much?
Oh, beyond too much. I think Americans are smarter than that. I don't care what their ideology is. That's nothing but, it's desperation. It's clear desperation. You can see the sweat on his brow. He's not going to be standing on the platform. This is his last shot at this, most likely. And he knows the American people know better. We're not going to lose an American city because we have not only a great country, we have one of, if not the greatest military in the world, and we have a great Pentagon that works with the president, whether that president's a Democrat or Republican. Let's be honest about that.
He said in your lifetime, so he extended it quite a ways, but it was in that context. So
I'm going to live longer than him, though, Megan.
It's getting some attention today. Those remarks are. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Megan.
Sure.
Well, we've got some breaking news at the White House.